Welcome back. To discuss the flooding situation in Yobe State, we're being joined by the Commissioner for Information. He joins us from Damaturu. Mr. Abdullahi Bego, a pleasure having you with us. So what is the real situation in Yobe State, especially regarding aid from the state government? Because the victims are saying that the flooding has left them in dire state.
Absolutely. The flooding situation has affected 12 about 17 local government areas, and up to 3,112 households have been affected. And as we speak, the Emergency Management Agency is working to ensure that communities and households have been reached with support from the state government. His Excellency Governor Malabuni has ordered that communities downstream be relocated. And as I talk to you now, up to 9% of the households that have been affected have got reached with support, both with food items and non-food items. And that 10% translates into something like 1,216 households out of the total number of households that have been affected. So the work is ongoing. Communities have been hardest hit, no question, by the flooding. But the state government is doing its best to ensure that all of those that have been affected have been reached with support that they need to rebuild their lives.
Mr. Bego, more floods are expected in the coming days. What is the government doing towards relocating the affected victims?
Yes, the governor, His Excellency Malabuni, has already ordered the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management and the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, to work together to relocate communities that are downstream. And as I talk to you now, some of these communities have already begun to be relocated. Some of them, especially in Pakistan area, have been provided with funds to rent houses in their own communities so that they can stay for up to 3 months before they can get back to normality. So the relocation has started, but as I said, we still have a lot of work to do. We have reached so far a total of 39% of all the communities that have been affected. So the work is ongoing. More communities will be reached in the coming period. By the grace of God, the state government will not rest on its own until all the people who need support get the support that they need.
Besides giving them funds, which you mentioned, is the Yobe State government planning to open perhaps an IDP camp for displaced flood victims this time around?
Well, actually, there is no plan to open a IDP camp. Flooding is a fairly regular yearly phenomenon in Yobe, sadly. But it's something that communities have been adjusting to and working to avert, and because of awareness and because of community participation, the extent to which flooding is affecting communities is somewhat lower than what it used to be. And that's thanks to the participation of the community. So there is no actually plan to open in IDP camp, but the support that the state is providing is reaching the people that have been affected, and those that have yet to be reached will be reaching the community areas. And there's absolutely no need to open an IDP camp, but definitely they require support as we speak, and the support is being given to them over time.
Now, Mr. Bego, what about the health implication of this? Because we know with flooding comes diseases like malaria, and we're still in a pandemic. So what is the Yobe State government doing in this regard?
Well, there is no question that flooding gives rise to a host of health concerns, including malaria and typhoid fever, cholera, and all that. But what His Excellency the Governor is doing is to strengthen local health care facilities when they need to give those facilities. As I speak to you now, His Excellency the Governor is working to build or rebuild community health centers in 178 wards. So far, 105 have been completed. That's more than 50% over the recent period. And His Excellency will continue to work on that as it will be completed. So, actually, is to strengthen the resilience of communities, ensure that they have access to medical care. And we're grateful to the that we received from our partners, from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, from Govt Foundation, and others. All these agencies, nations, all of them are working for the state government to provide communities with the support that they need. What is important is while the government is also doing its best, communities are also gearing up to do their own part. Many communities, you find people working to clear drainage lines that have been blocked, before the rainy season began, and communities that the community effort that some of the areas have been cleared. There is no blockage of rainwater moving around and all that. So all of that is ongoing. But the most important thing that the government is doing is local health care at the grassroots level. So people have direct access and immediate access to health care facilities whenever they need it.
But is the government making sure that those in need, how are they able to monitor to be sure that those in dire need actually are receiving these healthcare services and aid as well?
Yeah, well, I can report from the Ministry of Health that they have community health officers at the local levels working with local government councils, ensuring that whenever there's any report of a particular outbreak, that they reach those communities where there is an outbreak immediately and they provide support without waste of time. So this is something that is still ongoing, and this is also happening because of the support of the local government councils. But definitely some major support is being provided immediately. A report is received of the need for government to act immediately because of an outbreak.
The Commissioner for Information, Abdullahi Bego in Yobe State, a pleasure sharing your thoughts with us on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.